So I want to share with you guys this story, and I know it's going to resonate with so many people out there. It's the fact of no matter what you do, no matter what the situation is, you're always broke. Always, period. I know people always say, you can't save your way into building wealth. A lot of people say that. You just need to increase your income. That's all you need to do is just increase your income, find ways to flip homes, whatever it takes, increase your income. Now, me personally, I never, ever have a problem making money. I love to work. I'm always curious. I always figure things out. Making money to me was never a problem. Now, keeping it and not living a paycheck to paycheck cycle and not continually feeling like I'm always broke, now that was something I could have never, ever, ever had fixed. And things just changed in my life. So if you're someone that's experiencing this now, you're gonna have this moment in your life. Like, I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. In my opinion, I feel like it kind of happens in your mid-30s. When you start looking at the things you did in the past, all the financial mistakes you made in the past, the living paycheck to paycheck, having checks bounced, looking at your account and seeing that it's negative, and just continually living life that way. Because as soon as you get paid, you replenish your account and you're good to go. You pick up side hustles, whatever it is. You don't save, you don't prioritize saving whatsoever. You don't believe in an emergency fund because in your 20s, what's an emergency, right? The emergencies are minor. There's nothing big, so you never make an emergency fund. You don't put money into your retirement account because what's the point, right? Why are you gonna save money for an age when when you're like in your 60s, 40 years from now? What's the point? So you don't even prioritize investing, nothing. But then by the time you hit 35 and you recognize, okay, I gotta do something. There's things I need to do in order to start saving money. I made way too much money within my life. Say, for example, you made $50,000 in your 20s. You already accumulated $500,000 and you have no money. And even worse of it all, you have a whole bunch of credit card debt. So you have a negative net worth. How and why? How can you squander up so much money after you accumulated so much money? That's when you hit the rock bottom and you recognize something needs to be done. But it's never easy. And I learned that the hard way. You think it's just one solution you need to do to fix a problem, and it never is. This is how I started my journey. I first was introduced into Dave Ramsey, and I was like, okay, I like this guy. I love the fact that he was prioritizing paying off debt. There was a whole bunch of stories, people just sharing some such great inspirational stories that allowed me to keep on listening and to keep on building up the courage to start handling my debt. But like many people out there, you see that number and you don't believe it, right? You see the massive amount of debt and you say to yourself, I can't do that right now because right now I'm living paycheck to paycheck. How am I going to be able to put money into my debt? You don't do it. So I'm there listening to this podcast and I didn't do anything, okay? All that inspiration you had in this podcast, I listened to none of it. Then finally I said, okay, I need to do something. I need to do the whole debt snowball because the debt snowball approach is the best approach. And what do? I say, well, is there another way? Well, I heard there's something called an avalanche. What is that? Okay, the avalanche is paying the highest interest rate first, and that's the best way to pay off your debt because you save so much money in the end, you're not paying so much money in interest. That sounds good. But what about the debt snowball? Like, as far as like getting the small wins early and paying the small balance, that's a good approach. But maybe there's something else out there, and all I'm doing is trying to find more and more information to tackle the issue. Then I start reading books to get my mind right. Then I start practicing stoicism. I start doing all these things to get myself in the right mindset. Years have gone by and I've done nothing. The reason why is none of that crap works unless you do action. You have to start just committing yourself and taking that first step to actually do something, right? If you want to become a saver, put $1 in your account. From that day going forward, you are a saver. You want to become an investor, but buy a small portion of the ETF, buy whatever, put some money in the stock market, buy an ETF, an index fund, whatever. The moment you do that, you are an investor. Put money into your 401k account. From that moment on, you're someone thinking about your future. You have to start taking action. Once you start taking action, things get easier. You're never going to have all the answers to something as difficult as paying off debt, saving for your future, and investing. You're not. But once you're in there and you're starting, and then there comes a problem arises, you read up some books, go on YouTube, learn as much as you can, and then you overcome it and you keep on going. Then there's additional questions. What's a Roth IRA? Should I put money into a Roth IRA? Am I eligible for a Roth IRA? Put money in a Roth IRA. What's an index fund? That sounds interesting. Start investing in index funds. Start investing in ETFs. Start building all that money you're getting and living on less, than less than what you make. Stop living beyond your means. Prioritizing your savings, prioritizing your health, prioritizing paying off debt. Now the ball is rolling. Now everything is going to the way you want it to go. And those small little incremental changes you make in your life is the ones that make the hugest impact financially. I discovered you're not going to be able to pay off all your debt in 1 year. You're not. I know Dave Ramsey says, go gazelle, but people are not going to do that. It's not. And I'm one of them. I was not able to just say, for 1 year, I'm going to cut everything out of my life and do it. Can't. Life is too short. And there's still some things in life you need to enjoy. If you have families and kids, you still want to enjoy it. And I understand making a sacrifice like that, is only a temporary thing. I get it. But it's not easy for the average person. If you tell the average person, this is what you need to do, and they can't do it, guess what? They end up doing nothing at all. So I'm here to tell you, the way it worked for me to handle all this finances, the debt, the investing, and everything, was to take baby steps and say to myself, be patient. It is going to work. You are enough. You're putting enough money into your debt. You're putting enough money into your retirement. Do not get caught up on people on TikTok saying you need $5-6 million to retire. That's bullcrap. The average person's 401k balance in their 40s is $260,000. I am really close to it. I have at least $120,000 saved within my retirement account. I'm close. So the average is $260,000. I'm beating myself up, trying to make millions of dollars when really the bar is set so low. Now, I'm a very competitive person. I understand that amount is way too low for me, is way too risky because I don't know if Social Security is going to be around. But with that being said, I aim high, but I'm doing it in a nice, easy temperature. Right? It's like what they say about the whole frog in boiling water, right? If you put a frog in boiling water, it doesn't jump out. I've never seen that, but I understand the analogy. But if you start turning the temperature up little by little, the frog won't even know what's going on. You won't even know what's going on. And that's the beautiful thing when it comes to investing and savings, is when you make the small incremental changes and you're like, I don't even recognize it. Then you increase it a little bit more, you don't even recognize it. The more money you make, the more you increase your investments and everything else, you won't even recognize it. And then, my friend, after years of doing this continuously, that's when you reach financial freedom. That's why you see now so many people with the FIRE movement. I'm not liking it that much because there's such a huge sacrifice that they're taking out of their life that's not worth it. It's not worth it at all, the whole FIRE movement. That's why there's now 10 to 15 variations of FIRE movement. And they're all good. There's lean FIRE, extreme FIRE. There's all types of FIRE movements out there. But the one to me that's most important is just reaching financial freedom at your pace at the best ability that you can. This right here, my friends, is a marathon. There is no sprint. There is no sprint to $1 million because people want to just rush and make $1 million and then do what? You're going to be happy? It's not the case, right? It's not the case. But you'd want to challenge yourself, educate yourself, invest wisely, change your mentality when it comes to consumerism and being smart with your money. That's going to have a long-standing benefit. And you're going to just get extremely smart and better with money. So right now, please, I challenge you all. If you right now live in paycheck to paycheck, you're struggling, you're doing payday loans, you're doing buy now, pay later, doing all that stuff, start removing that stuff out of your life little by little. Start increasing your income, but at the same time, put some money aside. If you don't have an emergency fund, you're always going to continue going down that slope, down that debt slope. So start saving money in your emergency fund. Then start paying off your debt and do it to the best ability that you can. And you will notice your mindset would change, and all you would be thinking about is handling your debt, handling your finances. And then you'll be focused on it. And at the same time, you're enjoying life and you're not feeling like this is some sort of a punishment for the mistakes you made in the past. Trust me, guys, it will certainly work if all you do is just commit to handling your business as patient as possible.